Hello, my name's Julie Williams. I'm a registered migration agent with Migration Downunder. If you're new to our channel, consider subscribing so that you can be kept up to date with the latest information and news on anything involved with Immigration Australia. Now, what I'm going to be talking to you about today is the Subclass 491 visa. It's a regional visa that does lead to permanent residency. And that's what I think everyone is the key word, permanent residency. You may have family here living in Australia already as a permanent resident or citizen, or you may not, and you can individually come through state sponsorship. There's two different pathways. Now let me go back and explain a little bit more about what the 491 visa is. It's for those people who are in a skilled occupation. Your skilled occupation must be on the skilled occupation list, and it's a points-based application. So thereby you get points for all the relevant sectors that they're considering that are important for migration to Australia, that will enable you to be able to be easily employed and maintain work in a skilled occupation in a regional area. So they give you points for your age, for your English language ability, for the length of work experience you may have. If you've got work experience in Australia, then you'll get more points for work experience in Australia than from overseas. And then if you, dependent on your qualification, you'll get so many points for that. You do need to go through a skills assessment first. That's the first step, to have your skills assessed, and then do an English language test. Even for those people who are native English language speakers, native English speakers, should consider doing the English language test, because it will boost your points. And obviously the more points you gain, the more likely it is that you'll receive an invitation to lodge an application for a provisional 491 visa. Now remember, the 491 visa is a provisional, which means it's a temporary visa. It's valid for 5 years, and then there is a pathway to permanent residency. If you've been working and living in a designated regional area for a minimum of 3 years, then you can seek to apply for permanent residency. Another thing you need to consider for the 491, you do need to be under 45 at the time of application. And as long as you're at under 45 at time of application, for the 491, it doesn't matter about decision, and it doesn't matter that you may have turned 45 by the time you're eligible for permanent residency. The minimum points required to lodge an expression of interest is 65 points, and that's the first stage of the application, is lodging an expression of interest, and that will then determine whether you get invited to lodge a visa application. It may be based on state sponsorship. You may be working and living in a particular area that you're seeking sponsorship through the state to obtain an invitation for an application, or you may have a relative that can sponsor you for lodging a 491 visa. Now the sponsor for a relative, who is an eligible sponsor, that is a direct family member. It may be a parent, it may be a child, it may be your sibling, it may be cousin, it may be a grandparent, it may be uncle and aunt. So there's a wide range there of eligible relatives. Now those relatives must be living and working also, or not necessarily, working. They must be living and their usual place of residence must be that of a regional designated area. And it would be considered that you're going to be moving into that same regional designated area that your relative is in. So they can't just own property, they have to be residing in that area. And the government will check. They will look at bank statements, they will look at rates notices, they will look at things that will consider somebody a usual resident. There's no particular set time period of how long they must have been residing in that particular area, but they certainly do need to be settled. In regards to the sponsorship for the states, it is quite competitive. It's not occurring for anyone offshore at the moment due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, but it will be opening again. And because it's nearing the end of the Australian financial year, a lot of the 491 applications are closing for this time of year, but it will reopen, and we're looking and waiting waiting in anticipation to see what the states are going to be doing with their new program, whether it's going to reflect very much similar to what has already occurred or whether it is going to be a little bit different. But look, I've just touched briefly on the main points there for the 491 visa. As I said, it is a regional visa. And if you do require further information, please look through our website. There's some quite detailed information there with links that take you further. If you are considering utilising the services of a migration agent, we'd certainly be happy to hear from you and look forward to being able to assist you. Unfortunately, we can't assist those who are already lodged an application and are doing it on their own or using another registered migration agent. You should actually refer back to them. But we can certainly help anyone that is genuinely considering utilising our services. Happy to hear from you. Give us a call on 02 9419 5411.